Hello, hello, hello. Church says hello. I don't know what's causing. I got the scabbies gone from his eyes, but they're still on his nose, and I don't know what's causing that. But we're working with it. All right, so here I am. I look terrible. All I did was pull my hair up today in a little French twist thing. Okay, so anyway, first off, let me see if I can pull it up. Look here. Look here. 718 subscribers. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you everybody for subscribing. I appreciate it so much. I got some kind of an email just before I started that was congratulating me for getting 700 subscribers. Thank you. It's all because of you. I couldn't do this without you. And my Cash App, if anybody feels like they can help me buy a cup of coffee, sorry, I'm trying to be like Granny's watching. Help me buy a cup of coffee. Um, my Cash App's $ get Locker. There we go. All righty. But I'm excited. I have 718 subs now. Thank you. Um, it's not my business. I'll just put it this way. And gossip is a sin. I'll just put it this way. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what's happening. But something has, in the last week, has been happening on these YouTube streets that I had no idea about. I don't know what it is. People that used to be in other people's chats are not there anymore. People that used to argue with people, green team used to argue with blue team. They flip flopped over to green or blue team. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I'm staying in the middle of the street. That's where I'm staying. I'm staying in the middle of the street. Sorry, my supper. I made chicken and rice. Thanks to my moderator because she was making it the other night and it sounded so good that today I had to get to Steph to do it. And it tasted good too. She's a good. I don't know if I used her recipe or not, but I used my own recipe and oh, it was so yummy. Only I use turkey. I don't use chicken. I love chicken, but not white meat chicken. It's just that. Not to mention turkey's cheaper to buy turkey for right now. So we have our sage going right here. Church is off somewhere sleeping. He'll be here soon. They're having a bazaar in downtown Augusta today. So CJ had to work, so and it don't end till 3:30. So I don't know when he'll be home for lunch. If he'll be home during our live today. But I'm going to share. Can you hear Smiley in the background? I'm so sorry. I had her turned on a little while ago. Hold please. I gotta go pause Smiley. I'm so sorry, Smiley Stories World. I love you, but we can't be on the TV at the same time. We just can't be on TV at the same time. So anyway, let's show our fair use disclaimer. There was a second person in chat. I don't know who it was. Maybe my mod checking in. I don't expect her to be here today on account of it's family day. Okay. I'm just going to drop this down in case I need it. Because I don't know that there's any trigger warnings today. But do y'all think I was using clickbait when I said news about Bryan Kohberger found not guilty against mother's wishes? It's not clickbait. I got the receipts. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is Bryan Kohberger and the Idaho 4. He's going to trial in August. Now that don't make sense. I just said he was found not guilty, but he's going to trial. So, yeah. So, I don't know. I think they said trial date was August 11th, but don't quote me on that. Don't quote me. So, anyway, what I was talking about the activity that's been going on in these YouTube streets, I hope that the people that have been coming into my chat will continue to come into my chat. I hold nothing against them for doing what they felt they had to do. Okay, I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. It wasn't my business. If it were to become my business, somebody would let me know. And then if it were to become your business, somebody would give me permission to share it. But I don't want to lose any subscribers. I don't want to lose any people in the bushes. I don't want to lose anybody over whatever's been going on the YouTube streets. Please know I'm not part of it. I hope. To the best of my knowledge, I'm not part of it. Okay? I don't think I've done anything wrong. I've been trying to be supportive of everybody on the YouTube streets, whether you're green team or blue team. Although, I'll admit, I don't go over and watch the blue team, but I did happen to see Jays for Justice call me stupid. Tell me I need to be shoved in a locker. Jays for Justice needs to be shoved in a locker. But I'm not threatening like she is. I'm just repeating her own words, using her words against her. That's all I'm doing. Okay, welcome to the locker room. We are in here and we are talking about Bryan Kohberger and the Idaho 4 case. All right, let me bring up. Here's a receipt. Boise, Idaho. A judge entered not guilty plea Monday morning for the 28-year-old man charged in the stabbing death of 4 University of Idaho students last fall. And the story that goes with that, I'll have to pull up that story. All right. Como News instantly. Yeah, allow notifications. What happened? Oh, hush. Okay. My moderator. She said, if you want to be my cousin, DM me because I'm starting my own family. So I said, I responded to her thing and I said, DM. Okay, I'm going to turn this off because I'm not filling out this newsletter stuff while I'm on here talking to you. You're more important. Okay, it says Boise, Idaho, judge entered not guilty plea Monday morning for 28-year-old man charged in the unaliving of 4 University of Idaho students last fall. I'm sorry, I paused because I'm trying to think of proper words that I can use on YouTube to replace the words that are there. You can read them. I can't say them. Bryan Kohberger's attorney, public defender Ann Taylor, said their client, wouldn't that be her client? Their client will be standing silent. No pleas during the arraignment in Latah County District Court, prompting the judge to enter not guilty plea on his behalf. Kohberger was indicted by a grand jury last week. I don't know what week this was. This was in May of 2023, okay? But I hadn't heard anything about it. I hadn't heard that the judge put in a not guilty plea. Bryan Kohberger was indicted by a grand jury last week on 4 counts of first-degree unaliving and burglary, which were the original 5 charges. The indictment allowed prosecutors to skip a planned week-long preliminary hearing that was set for late June. It's uncommon but not unheard of for the defendants to stand silent. The criminal case, sometimes it is done because defendants and their attorneys feel they need more time to weigh the ramifications of entering a plea of guilty or not guilty. Other times it can be part of a broader legal strategy or simply a defendant's personal choice. Kohberger declined to waive his rights to a speedy trial, so Latah County, Lida, I don't know how to say that. Lida County District Judge John Judge set the trial date for October 2nd. It's still possible that the trial, expected to last 6 weeks, could be delayed or moved to a different location. Boy, did that ever happen. If found guilty, Kohberger faces a maximum of 10-year sentence on the burglary charge and 4 consecutive life sentences or the unaliving penalty for first-degree unaliving charges. Fines up to $200,000 and payment of $20,000 to the victims' families are also possible if Kohberger is found guilty. Now, where's that money going to come from? If he's in jail, he can't be out working and get the money. I don't understand that. Lida County Prosecutor Bill Thompson now has 60 days to inform the court whether he will seek the unaliving penalty in the case. Okay, I'm going to put some music background up here because I don't know how long this little video is. Wow. It just says a family was shot to death inside their house on a lake road somewhere. I didn't see all of it. I just saw the headline that popped up on my.
All rise. Thank you very much. Please be seated. Good morning, everybody.
hello, Lizzie Carter. Thank you for coming in and thank you for subscribing. Have you been following the Bryan Kohberger case? I haven't actually been following it. I've seen little bits and pieces of it on a few persons' channels, but I haven't really been following it. I know the gist of it, but I don't know all of it. I don't think we want to just sit and look at Bryan Kohberger.
We have some people on Zoom here too, so we can hide it. Okay, let's get on the record, please. Thank you. Okay, we are now on the record in State of Idaho versus Bryan C. Kohberger, CR 29222803. Mr. Kohberger is in the courtroom along with
I'm skipping the boring stuff. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
anything else we need to address with the statement?
Not with regards to trial setting, no.
Anything else?
No.
Thank you. Thompson?
Nothing to say at this time, no.
All right. So with that, by the way, I do want to let everybody know, if they don't already know this, that once the grand jury issued the indictment, preliminary hearing scheduled to start on June 26th was no longer needed and was vacated. So some people are confused about that. So I thank counsel, and
Okay, so he was supposed to go to court in June, and because the grand jury put in a ruling, the court case in June was canceled.
and the media and the public for your attention and respect. So we are adjourned. Thank you.
Oh, I missed it.
All right, I'm going to read you the charges on the indictment, starting with count 1, burglary. That is a felony under Idaho Code Section 18-1401 and 1403. This alleges that you, on or about November 13, 2022, in Latah County, State of Idaho, did unlawfully enter a residence located at 1122 King Road, Moscow, with the intent to commit the felony crime of murder. Count 2, murder in the first degree. That is a felony under Idaho Code Section 18-4001, 4002, 4003, and 4004. This alleges that you, on or about November 13, 2022, in Latah County, State of Idaho, did willfully, unlawfully, deliberately, with premeditation and with malice aforethought, kill and murder Madison Mogan, a human being, by stabbing Madison Mogan, from which she died. Count 3, murder in the first degree. A felony under Idaho Code Section 18-4001, 4002, 4003, and 4004. This alleges that you, on or about November 13, 2022, in Latah County, State of Idaho, did willfully, unlawfully, deliberately, with premeditation, and with malice aforethought, kill and murder Kayla Gonzalez, a human being, by stabbing Kayla Gonzalez, from which she died. Count 4, murder in the first degree. That's a felony under Idaho Code Section 18-4001, 4002, 4003, and 4004. Alleging that you, on or about November 13, 2022, in Laycott County, State of Idaho, did willfully, unlawfully, deliberately, with premeditation, and with malice aforethought, kill and murder Zayna Kernodle. Excuse me. This is hard. I'm sorry. Zayna Kernodle, a human being, by stabbing Zayna Kernodle, from which she died. Count 5, murder in the first degree.
Here's my son coming home.
This is a felony under Idaho Code Section 18-4001, 4002, 4003, and 4004. This alleges that you, on or about November 13, 2022, in Laycott County, State of Idaho, did willfully, unlawfully, deliberately, with premeditation, and with malice aforethought, kill and murder Ethan Chapin, a human being, by stabbing Ethan Chapin, from which he died. This was signed on May 16, 2023, by the presiding grand jury. So now I'm going to go to the maximum penalties of each charge, starting with count 1, burglary, minimum 1 year, up to 10 years in imprisonment. Fine.
But what did he steal? I just know that he broke into the house. That's breaking and entering. What did he actually steal? I don't know him stealing anything other than their lives.
Fine of up to $50,000 or both fine and imprisonment. Restitution for the victim's economic losses resulting from the crime. For counts 2, 3, 4, and 5, murder in the first degree, maximum penalties, life in prison, or the death penalty. Fine of up to $50,000 for both fine and life in prison or the death penalty. Restitution for the victim's economic losses resulting from the crime. Also, additional fine of up to $5,000 to be paid directly to the victim's families. If you are found guilty or plead guilty on each charge, and the maximum sentences are imposed consecutively, that means one right after the other, you could be facing 10 years in prison, followed by 4 consecutive life sentences or death penalty, fines of up to $200,000 and $20,000 to be paid directly to the families with any restitution resulting from the crimes. Okay. Mr. Kohberger, do you understand the charge in count 1?
Yes.
Do you understand the maximum penalty?
Yes.
Do you understand the charge in count 2, murder in the first degree?
Yes.
Do you understand the maximum penalty?
Yes.
Do you understand the charge in count 3, murder in the first degree?
Yes.
Do you understand the maximum penalty?
Yes.
Okay, I have to pause for fair use thing. I didn't know how long this was going to be. My kitten decided to wake up.
Do you understand the charge in count 4, murder in the first degree?
Yes.
Do you understand the maximum penalty?
Yes.
Do you understand the charge in count 5, murder in the
Yes.
first degree? Do you understand the maximum penalty?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Taylor, is Mr. Kohberger prepared to plead to these charges?
Your Honor, we will be standing aside.
Okay, because Mr. Kohberger is standing silent, I'm going to enter not guilty pleas. on each charge, counts 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, at this juncture, the state has 60 days to give notice of intention to seek the death penalty. And Mr. Kohberger has a constitutional and statutory right to a speedy trial. So let's start with you, Ms. Taylor, and then Mr. Thompson to discuss some scheduling.
Okay, so there we have it. Kohberger, the judge pled Kohberger not guilty on all 5 counts. So I don't know if he pled him not guilty so that there would be a trial or so that there would be some sort of plea. I don't know. So let's go to this next one. The Idaho student unalived worker Bryan Kohberger pleads not guilty to quadruple murder charges.
Bryan Kohberger has pleaded not guilty to the murders of 4 University of Idaho students. Kohberger was charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of felony burglary in the deaths of Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Goncalves. The 4 were killed in the fall of 2022. Kohberger is a criminology graduate student from Washington State University. He and his defense counsel opted to stand silent, which is protected under the Fifth Amendment right to avoid self-incrimination. Prosecutors have 60 days to announce if they are seeking the death penalty. The Idaho legislature recently passed a bill reinstating the firing squad as an alternative option for the death penalty instead of lethal injection. The law goes into effect in July. Kohberger acknowledged he understood the death penalty could be on the table. The trial date has been set for October 2nd. Kohberger's attorney said the trial may take 4 to 6 weeks to prepare, according to reports from within the courtroom. Kohberger was arrested in December following the month-long investigation by state and federal law enforcement agencies. They used evidence found in his car and home to connect him to the murders, like a knife sheath. Other alleged pieces of information not specified in court documents are an ID card connected to a victim and photos of a female victim on Kohberger's phone.
Okay. So that's how he got, I'm sorry, he got pled not guilty. Now, let's go, is this a little video? It says, oh, let me present screen, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting I have to do that. Okay, this says Bryan Kohberger's mother didn't want him to enter a not guilty plea. Here's why. In January 2023, Bryan Kohberger was extradited from a jail in Pennsylvania to a facility in Idaho where he will stand trial for the unalivings of 4 University of Idaho students, according to the Idaho Statesman. Kohberger was flown in a Pennsylvania State Police plane that stopped in Champaign, Illinois, and Rapid City, South Dakota. A little over a year later, Kohberger was transported to an Ada County jail from a jail in Latah County after a judge's ruling reassigned his case per KPAS. While the logistics of the case are not nearly as interesting as the more flashy parts, it's important to show how long the road to Kohberger's trial has been. According to Fox 13, his trial has been scheduled for July 30, 2025, which has now been moved until August, which is nearly 3 years after the unaliving. The process has been frustrating for the victim's family, but sources close to Kohberger's family say his mother is partially to blame for some of the delay. Here's what we know. Is there a video? Bryan Kohberger's mother could be delaying his trial. An unnamed source claiming to be close to the Kohberger family told the Daily Mail that the defendant's mother is encouraging her son to plead not guilty in the face of mountains of evidence. But it says her mother didn't want him. Now it's saying she does? Kohberger was at the Pennsylvania home of his parents, Mary Ann and Michael Kohberger, when he was arrested in December 2022, reports the New York Post. As far as his childhood goes, witnesses have said that his family was pretty normal and described Mary Ann as warm-hearted. Kohberger is the youngest of three and the couple's only son. Both Mary Ann and Michael worked for the Pleasant Valley School District. Michael was a maintenance worker from 2006 to 2019, while Mary Ann was a paraprofessional assisting students with disabilities until 2020. Deja Mann, a former classmate of Kohberger's, was taught by Mary Ann, whenever I was sad or depressed, she was always there right by my side. She was always cheer me up, explained Mann. Okay, so Kohberger's mother is against the death penalty. As the trial approaches, Kohberger's defense team continues to make requests that will benefit their client. His lawyers have asked the court to limit the use of the word unalive and want to ban terms like psychopath, sociopath, and even reference bushy eyebrows. They have also moved to keep crime scene photos out of the trial due to the inflammatory nature of these images. He done it. Does he not want to see what he did when everybody else can see what he did? The defense also refuses to use the phrase unalive penalty and insists on saying the state is attempting to unalive Kohberger. The prosecution has demanded the state stop doing this on April 2025. An Idaho judge ruled that if Kohberger is convicted, the unalive penalty is on the table. When it comes to the unalive penalty, Kohberger's mother has previously written about her feelings towards it. In April 2008, she penned a piece for the Pocono Record in which Mary Ann stated she did not support it because state sanctifies unaliving is still just that, unaliving. She continued, it would seem that some believe they have the divine power to tell others what to think. Wow. All right, next we're going to go come on. Something's happening with my StreamYard. Hold, please. There it is. DoorDash driver claims she saw Bryan Kohberger at the scene of U of I murders, June 20th, 2025. Okay, let's give this a listen.
We have new developments in the case against Bryan Kohberger this morning. Newly surfaced body cam footage from last year shows an interview with a woman who claims to be a DoorDash driver.
She says she saw the Idaho student murder's suspect while she was dropping off food just moments before police say the 4 students were killed. The video, which ABC News confirmed as authentic from Pullman Police Commander Reuben Harris, shows the woman wrapped in a gray blanket being questioned at a Pullman holding facility. She claims she dropped off food at the King Road home in Moscow shortly before Ethan Chapin, Kaylee Gonzalez, Madison Mogan, and Xana Kernodle were stabbed to death. When asked to clarify which case, she said, the murder with the college girls. I'm the DoorDash driver. I saw Bryan there. I parked next to him. Authorities say Kernodle placed an order and received her delivery around 4 the morning of November 13th, 2022. Police believe the murders took place shortly after between 4:07 and 4:20. The judge indicated Bryan Kohberger's trial will likely start in August as scheduled. He's expected to make an official ruling on that soon. We will keep you up to date on any developments we learn on KXLY.com.
Sorry. I don't know what we're watching here. Okay. Now. All right. Have a good night. All right. Now we're going to bring up Idaho murder. Idaho unalive case DoorDash driver expected to testify. Okay, now I got a question. This lady was brought to jail over something. Now, back at the beginning of the case, well, when I came in last August, and I heard about it. I heard that one of the girls called the DoorDash driver to see if her friend, which at the time I was understanding was a male, to see if he was working. And then this lady is now saying that she is the DoorDash driver. So I'm confused about who's really the DoorDash driver. Let's see what she has to say.
It was about the University of Idaho homicide and the man suspected of murdering them, Bryan Kohberger, have been revealed. On November 13th, 2022, police found students Madison Mogan, Kaylee Gonzalez, Xana Kernodle, and her boyfriend Ethan Chapin deceased in their Moscow, Idaho home, with the victim suffering multiple wounds made with a large knife, according to a court filing obtained by Dateline. Sources close to the investigation tell the outlet they believe Mogan was the killer's intended target, as the perpetrator went directly to her room, where he also found Gonzalez with her. The sources then state that Kernodle, who was still awake after ordering food from DoorDash, was attacked next. Her boyfriend Chapin appears to have been the last of the 4 to be targeted by the killer, as the sources believe he was asleep in bed before his death, and that the perpetrator, quote, carved the victim's lower legs with a blade. Security footage also obtained by Dateline shows a car that investigators believe resembles Kohberger's white Hyundai Elantra circling past the house's block multiple times the early morning of the murders. Kohberger, a Washington State University criminal justice doctoral student, was arrested at his parents' home in Pennsylvania in late December 2022 and charged with murder in connection with the killings. A judge entered a non-guilty plea to 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of burglary on his behalf. E! News has reached out to Kohberger's legal team for comment on the Dateline special, but has not yet heard back.
Okay. And that says the same thing that we just heard. Okay. Okay. So now she said he was not guilty. His mother didn't want him to plead not guilty. His mother doesn't believe in the death penalty. And this woman is now saying she was a DoorDash driver and she parked beside him. What do you think? I got more I'm going to go over, but I have to take care of some things, so we'll pick up on Bryan Kohberger on we'll start with him about facing the death penalty despite his autism or being diagnosed with autism or something. Okay, so I've got to get off of here. I've got to take care of something. Thank you for being here. Do something nice for someone, even if it's just be the reason they smile, and get well.